I wanted to make a video talking about rejection because I know I've already made a video on this topic, but I got rejected again this week. So, I've read many places that INFJs struggle romantically, struggle to find someone, and I 100% sign off on that. That has always been my experience. So yeah, I decided to meet this guy last week because we both like the same kind of music, metal, hard rock, and we're like, well, it's hard to find people who like that kind of music around here. So I was like, why not? And so we met up for a couple drinks, and it just was not a pleasant experience. We were like opposites, different, and the whole opposites attract thing, I don't know that I've ever like agreed with that very much as a whole in general. I think opposites, like super opposites, tend to repel each other. But anyway, this guy was like really snooty, and that was his word. Like, he's a self-proclaimed snooty person. And talking with him for like an hour and a half, I was like, yeah, he absolutely is. And one of those like really judgmental kind of people, looking down on everybody, and oh, but I'm so like amazing, but everybody else. And he was a know-it-all, like one of those people that I need to prove my intelligence to you. I'm going to show you how fucking intelligent and amazing I am, and I'm going to downplay you. I'm going to show you how illogical you are. And which I'm not even, like, I'm an INFJ. Logic's not my strong point. We're pretty irrational. We can be quite irrational. Pretty much lead with intuition anyways. So I wasn't trying to like fight with this guy or, fight logic. So he's just like cramming this at me, like. And then I said, like, oh, I like spirituality kind of stuff too. And he's like, people who are into spirituality, they're dumb. Science can disprove every single thing to do with spirituality. And then he was like, the thing that really tips me over the edge why I did not like this guy, okay, all of that painted a picture for you, like what this guy was about. But then the thing that really got me was, like right off the bat, I'm an introvert, as you all know. He didn't like that, and I could tell like right off the bat he was uncomfortable with me being an introvert. And like right away, like you could probably like tell my introverted energy, so right away he's like, what do you even do? That like, as an introvert, it's like, hang on, I'll tell you, like. And then I told him what my hobbies were and stuff, and he's like, okay. And then he starts spouting off like all of his hobbies, and like he's an extrovert, so he's like does all this whatever exciting stuff, whatever. And yeah, at some point in the conversation, he was like, "You're really reserved, aren't you?" And then I was like, "Yeah." I've been called aloof before. You know, I could just, like, the whole conversation, I could just tell, like, how uncomfortable he was with me being an introvert. And, he was uncomfortable with the fact that I'm reserved and not open, not an open book with, like, showing, like, how I feel about people. And so I could tell, like, he is real insecure, like, and he's like, "Well, how do you feel about me?" And it's funny, like, the older you get, you can see insecurity in people, and insecurity shows up in a lot of different ways. It's not just, like, people who, like, have their head down and, like, feel inferior and whatnot. Like, insecurity can be so far the extreme the other way. There's people who are like, "Oh, I'm so amazing," and just telling everybody how amazing they are, and they try to project this overconfidence to compensate for the fact that they are insecure, because you can see that deep down that they are. So I was like, at the end of this meet, it was like, "Nice to meet you." I was like, "Nice to meet you," and then he asked for my number. I said, "Okay," and then I gave it to him. Have not heard from him since, and it's been quite a few days, and I don't care, and I thought that was strange to ask for someone's number when you have no intent of actually contacting them. I think, you know what, I think this guy was, like, so egotistical that he just wanted my number to just not ever text me again, just to be like, "Well, since you wouldn't tell me how you feel about me, I'm gonna shut you down, reject you anyways." I really feel like that's what happened, and that's fine, you know, like, this experience sucked this week, because, like, whatever, I've met plenty of people where there's no connection, okay, but I've also met plenty of people where it's an instance like this where it's like, you just do not get along at all, and you can't stand each other, and it's like, ugh. And it hit a nerve in me, the whole introvert thing, because I've met a lot of guys who, they want introverted women, they want extroverted women, and if you're an introvert, you're boring to them. And introversion does not equate being boring. Like, I hate that. I hate how introverts get so much hate and judgment, and, you know, that we need to change. We need to become more extroverted in order to be good people, in order to be decent, in order to be dateable, in order, like, all this stuff, like being your natural self is wrong, and I've been told that my whole life, that being introverted is wrong, and also being sensitive is wrong. So those two things, like, those are my core, that's who I am, and I've been told my whole life that that's wrong and you need to change. And I did change on the sensitivity part, because I don't show my feelings to people. I don't. That's why I am so reserved and not open with people, because but yeah, I guess it's just another life lesson this week that rejection is going to happen. There's nothing that you can do to prevent that. You can't you're not going to be attractive to everybody. In fact, you're not going to be attractive to a lot of people. Some of us especially more than others, I guess. I just have the attitude of like whatever about, especially about that guy, like I didn't even like him anyways, so that's the part about being more mature, is learning that you need to try, if you can find people who do value and appreciate you, that's gold right there, because I'm very lucky to have friends who value and appreciate me for who I am, and I can be myself with them. I have not been able to find and sustain that romantically. I don't know if I will, but the point is not to change. And that's the other thing, is there's all this dating advice out there that you need to be the specific list of characteristics in order to secure someone, in order to be attractive to the masses. In order to be attractive to this gender, you need to have this list of qualities, and if you don't have that, well, you better change in order to, like, if you want to share your experiences with rejection in the comments, please do. It takes a lot of guts, I think, to talk about that. A lot of people want to sweep that under the rug and act like, oh, I never get rejected. I'm